All right, welcome back to Fleccas Talks the Podcast, episode 29. Today on the show, Netflix went woke and is currently going broke. New Crenshaw Soyjak just dropped. Libs of TikTok got doxed by Jeff Bezos in the Washington Post. Joe Biden's dog Major, the German Shepherd puppy, he's gone. He's on a farm somewhere. We're going to get to that. A BLM, they, them, got decked by a cop. And the kids are not learning math in school anymore. We're going to tell you what they're learning instead, and we'll give you a hint. It's drag queen stuff. Make sure you stay to the end for a double uplifting gold. All this and more. It's Fleccas Talks the Podcast, episode 29, ranked the best new podcast of all time.
Because words are just words until action actually starts. And actions speak louder than words, but at the same time, words speak louder than actions because sometimes it's the right thing to do.
Very cool. Fleccas Talks the Podcast featuring Richard Rapway. One and done. Wow, one and done. That was easy. Episode 29. We almost didn't shoot it today because Richard Rapway and I did a workout the other day that has debilitated me.
Fleccas is sick. I have some sort of workout-related illness.
I have something wrong with me. We did like a crazy bicep workout, and I can't open my arms. And believe me, I've done every workout for years. I know all the stuff. I've never had this before. I feel like I'm full of lactic acid, and my entire body has just been poisoned by lactic acid.
Tough.
I'm
sore, but I clearly wasn't afflicted like you.
I can't even go further than that, and it's just absolutely debilitating. I almost canceled the whole episode.
Yeah, so we pushed through. It was our first like heavy lifting back in a while. We haven't been heavy lifting, so he killed himself. He's done.
I absolutely killed myself. And I poisoned myself with lactic acid.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
So he's hurting. So bear with us, guys.
We're going to have a good episode still because I saved all my energy for this hour.
He hasn't been talking for the last like 36 hours.
And Rap was like, what are the topics?
What are we doing?
Oh, we're good. We'll get to it. Yeah. Okay, so I'm normal now. I've saved all my energy for this episode. Let's get right into some housekeeping. First things first, guys. Joe Biden did not shake hands with the air in that video. I know a lot of us thought he did. A lot of us thought he was like senile and out of it and obviously mentally unfit, shaking hands with nobody. But it turns out that wasn't the case. This was fact-checked, and he's not confused.
It says fact-checked. No, Biden didn't shake hands with thin air, semicolon, wasn't confused. It's like you're editorializing like what he felt in that moment from the video we all saw. Insane.
Yeah, Joe Biden's all good guys. He did not shake hands with nobody, and he is not confused.
Do not question the regime. The fact checkers will be there in case you do.
All right, good. Glad we got that out of the way. Number 2 in housekeeping. It was kind of a sad one.
Hold on. Fact checking. Fact checking firsthand source video is next level. Yeah. It's not like missing context. It's not doing this. It's just here's the video. Here's how you should think about it. Yeah. Insane levels of dystopian.
You're not seeing what you're seeing.
Joe Biden is not confused.
Joe Biden is not confused.
All right.
So yes, moving on. Number 2. It's kind of a sad number 2. Over the weekend, I had my wedding, and nobody came. No, it was today. It's Saturday. I told you guys this. I've been telling you. I told you this all week. You don't have to film this. The venue was $10,000 to rent. We set up all these chairs, and not one person came to my wedding.
I was there. I came.
Yeah. That was the only one, and he filmed it. It was really embarrassing for me. Just kidding. Richard Rapway and I went out to get a seafood tower in town, and there was a wedding like, 20 feet away.
Incredibly close.
I was in the background of it. I was sitting there pigging out on shrimp, and like I'm in the background of this person's wedding.
A photographer came and asked someone else to move out.
And they were right near us.
So yeah, that was a crazy experience. Watching someone like read their vows, like while I'm just stuffing shrimp in my face.
That's pretty much what happened. Yeah, not good. You'd think if you're paying for a nice wedding at a nice hotel like the one we were at, you keep the riffraff out.
Yeah, I don't know.
So we
or
were
at least
very
put up
close.
a barrier.
Yeah, we were very close. We were having a seafood tower. Honestly, wasn't the best seafood tower. It wasn't the best seafood tower. I was disappointed.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Usually with seafood towers, you need a mound of ice, and then they place the things in the ice. This was like a bowl of ice, and the ice was flat on the top. So after a few minutes, the ice started melting, and we had like fish water and all of our seafood stuff.
Ice got wet, turned into ice water.
So fish water, not good.
Yeah.
Moving on, number 3. Last week, we did a giveaway.
Yep.
We said leave a show compliment, and the best show compliment, or the one I like the best, will receive a free Dan Crenshaw toy and a free Hillary Clinton receptacle van toy. The winner was this guy, Matt. He said, show compliment. My newborn daughter is 3 days old, and now her favorite memory so far is watching this week's Fleccas Talks, rated best new podcast of all time. So I like that. I like when the kids are involved in a positive way. It's always good to show young children based content. So that person is the winner. Please DM me or email me. I replied to your comment, and we will get you a pack of toys. So congratulations to Matt. You won the giveaway. This week's giveaway is going to be a little bit different. We are going to be giving away the same pack, the 2 toys, the Dan Crenshaw action figure and the Hillary Clinton receptacle van. But this week, it's going to be given to a random person who subscribes to the Fleccas Clips channel. Link is in the description. Make sure you guys are subscribed to that, and I will pick a random winner and get you guys some toys. So make sure you're subscribed. Everyone's happy when we do giveaways like that. Moving on, guys, the masks are done on the planes.
Hallelujah.
Feels good. Feels good, but also,
it's a little late.
2 years too late.
And you don't want to be like the negative guy who's like, it's too late. It's a dub for flight attendants, pilots, everybody who works in the industry, everybody who travels a ton for business.
Yeah, it's a win after a massive loss.
It's a quadruple overtime win or something. Like we've kept extending. There's new periods.
Exactly. Something like that. It's a good thing. And also look around. Like when the masks were lifted, did you notice how like the entire plane cheered? Everyone took their masks off. It's kind of an insight to how many we have on our side. Like the numbers are on our side. They want us to think we're a fringe minority that, wanted to get rid of the masks. Mm-hmm. Once they announced it, everyone was pretty much cheering except for a couple of the uptight losers. Which
is how it was when they were doing mask enforcement. It was a couple of uptight losers going like, excuse me, flight attendant, and like blah, 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 pointing over here. And so, it was one of those populism moments that people couldn't hide the reaction to. They try to, astroturf you online and have, blue-haired opinions, cringe opinions everywhere, but you can't hide a plane full of 150 people cheering.
Yeah. So there's a little peek behind the curtain. There's a little insight to what our numbers really are. We are the majority. They want you to think we're not. Moving on, we're still in housekeeping. Is Zelensky a booger sugar boy? Is he a nose nachos guy?
Little bumper bump?
Little cheese, little key bump, little key bobby?
Little snifferoonie?
Look at this video of Zelensky. It looks like he's a Coke guy.
Yeah. Looks like a tingly face to me. Real tingly, sharp eyes, darting around.
And I'm sure the CIA has fantastic cocaine.
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah. We bring it in ourselves.
Yeah, this is like him up at like 4 a.m. Like, yeah, we're gonna beat the Russians, man.
Yeah,
we got them. We got them beat. Nothing can stop us. I'll go out right now myself.
I just need one more deal, one more weapons deal, guys. He looks coked out, I guess. I don't know.
He looks very coked out. And there's another little clip, too, that's playing in the background here of him, like, sniffling around and looking around, and someone sees him and has a camera, and he kind of makes eye contact because he knows he's doing, like, coke gestures, which is very interesting. Also, something I didn't realize, something I did realize and just haven't said yet.
Okay.
Did you know how quick Vladimir Zelensky, was that how you say it? Volodymyr Zelensky. You know how quick he got rich?
Oh, yeah. The come-up was fast.
The come-up was very fast. He used to be some
actor,
Ukrainian cabaret actor doing the high heel stuff and the butt stuff and the leather stuff. And within 2 years, he's worth $1.2 billion. That's hard to do.
Yeah, I saw something like, 35 million-ish house in Miami or something. So Zelensky's got pull.
Yeah.
How do you get rich that quick?
Very few people do. You can't even do that from Shiba Inu.
Yeah, we were talking about Stacey Abrams going from 100K to 3 million, and we're like, oh wow, they're really paying her out, and Zelensky just billies it,
worth $1.2 billion in basically 2 years.
Wow,
So that's pretty impressive.
Nice come up. Must be a big crypto guy.
Yeah, exactly. So let's get into the meat of the show. That was it. Quick housekeeping. Libs of TikTok was just doxed this week by Taylor Lorenz, Washington Post, Jeff Bezos.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy. Obviously, Libs of TikTok is an account that wanted to stay anonymous.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't a person. It wasn't a personal brand account. It was just an account that reposted.
It wasn't Michael from San Diego. It was Libs of TikTok. Here you go.
Exactly. And they're just, the account obviously posts, a lot of the cringe of the week comes from that account. They post videos that were posted by leftist teachers, leftist professors, or just leftists in general.
Critical race enthusiasts,
LGBTs.
Those types.
So these were clips.
The teachers who like to go off script in the classroom.
Exactly. And these posts were public. They're on TikTok. They're on Twitter. They're on Instagram. And Libs of TikTok does a great job of compiling them and putting them all in one place. So it's not like they were secret recordings or, someone who didn't know this information was going to be out there. This was publicly posted stuff and just reorganized.
Yeah. Selfie video, Project Veritas. Like, I'm doing it myself. We don't need to go on a fake date. We don't need anything.
But a lot of people are obviously misinterpreting what happened and what's going on. Cenk Uygur, I don't even know how to say his name. I hate that guy. He said, "It's amazing that the right-wingers are so stupid that they can't see that cheering on Libs of TikTok as she tries to get teachers fired for being gay or supportive of gay students is engaging in the thing they claim they hate the most, cancel culture." It's clearly not the same thing.
Yeah, like in your workplace, at your job.
Yeah, exactly. And these are teachers that were directly involved with students a lot of times. Posting this, it's not like it's like an outside the classroom opinion. A lot of these videos were taken in the classroom and are about the teachers who are teaching the students. Like, hey, here's what I'm teaching them this week, or here I told my student I'm trans and tried to explain it to him.
Well, my preschool class does this.
Yeah,
and it's like you just showed us everything.
So it's not really cancel culture. It's more exposing. Cancel culture would have been like what they did to Gina Carano or Nick Sandman or people who didn't want the vaccine. That's cancel culture.
Yeah, like if I'm a barista and every time I hand someone a coffee, I go, here you go, and I dump it out, and then I get fired. Is that cancel culture, or is that just someone not doing their job?
Someone not doing their job appropriately.
Yeah.
Here's an example. I think we may have covered this a few months back, but here's an example of a teacher who was fired for something that Libs of TikTok reposted.
So much for that question. I use the term minor attracted person or MAP in the title and throughout the book for multiple reasons. First of all, because I think it's important to use terminology for groups that members of that group want others to use for them. And MAP advocacy groups like Before You Act have advocated for use of the term MAP.
Minor attracted person.
Instead of pedophile. And
because that's what the group wants you to use. The group of pedophiles wants you to say MAP.
The pedophiles think it would be softer, easier language if they were called MAPs instead of pedos.
So we're taking instruction from pedophiles now.
And Cenk cheers it on.
Yeah.
That's what Cenk thinks was good. He thinks that the person, I guess, shouldn't have gotten fired. It's obviously this is just bigger picture, an attempt to destroy conservative media. Libs of TikTok recently merged with Babylon Bee. Obviously, Babylon Bee is suspended from Twitter. People are coming for Babylon Bee because they know how effective satire is, and they're coming for Libs of TikTok because they know how effective she is. These, like we said before, all these videos were posted by the people themselves on a public platform with the hope of getting views and support.
Yeah, it's like uninterrupted, no commentary source material, just like the Joe Biden shaking hands thing. It's like you're watching it, and you can't. There's no editorializing at all, for the most part, other than the captions, and so it's just an insane argument to make that they're
very eye-opening,
doing something out of character or out of context.
Exactly, very eye-opening, and then Taylor Lorenz is like, on this mission where she's saying, oh, like this is so dangerous. People are getting doxed. It's, I'm in danger, as she literally does it herself. When you post someone's information, for example, when they posted Libs of TikTok's personal information and where she works, you're basically opening the door to Antifa and saying, hey, Antifa, here's this person who's anti-LGBT or however you want to frame it. Go do your worst. And that was the goal. And this happens a lot. It's a dangerous situation when you dox these people. There was a guy in Ukraine, Gonzalo Lira, who had a Telegram, and he was there. And he's basically giving the other side of the Ukraine-Russia situation, not necessarily pro-Russia, but definitely not pro-Ukraine, just basically telling the truth from personal experience. And he always said, if you ever don't hear from me for more than 12 hours, I'm probably captured or dead. Daily Beast released his information, turned it over to the Ukrainian military, and now we don't hear from Gonzalo Lira for about a week now.
Wow.
So you can pretend it's just, you know,
So did
fair
the Daily
reporting.
Beast kill someone?
Daily Beast sounds like they kind of killed somebody.
Step 1, step 2, killed someone. Someone dead.
So way worse than what Libs at TikTok did. The stuff Libs at TikTok did was worthy of exposure.
Yeah.
Parents are happy to see it. It's eye-opening, and if it's not even if it's not your district, it makes people kind of tune in and say, "Hey, I need to be careful about what my kids are consuming and who my kids are surrounded by."
Absolutely.
So now you have this situation. It obviously gets way worse.
Yeah. Can I read a tweet? Of
course.
On broader perspective here. Someone tweeted, this girl, Grace, said, what I'm learning from the Libs of TikTok situation is that the progressive left really doesn't like their own beliefs and ideas to be leaked into the mainstream at a rate and in a manner they don't control. So, I mean, that's pretty prescient because all this is the teachings that these people are doing kind of in private, being exposed faster than they can shape the narrative around it. So, I mean, it's pretty obvious they need a Jen Psaki type or a fact checker type to filter it for you. And Libs of TikTok obviously cut right through that filter, and you've seen how mad that made them, you know?
As Morning Joe and the girl said,
Mika.
Yeah, Mika.
That's our job.
That's our job to tell you how to think based on the facts we show.
So
it's
bad.
interesting, and also I relate to it. In the beginning, when I was doing street videos, people would get mad at me and say I'm some right-wing provocateur. I'm doing all these bad things, and it's like, guys, I went to the protest. I said, "What are you doing here?" And the girl goes, "Donald Trump is worse than Hitler. We gotta stop him from killing all the Jews." And I was just like, "Okay, like, is that my fault?"
Straight from the Muppet's mouth.
You could have said something smart, and I probably wouldn't have used it, or I would put it up, and it wouldn't look good for me. It would just be, a good argument. But if you don't have a good argument, and you're a Muppet, and you're confused, and you're misled, when you say the quiet part out loud, it comes across way worse.
Absolutely.
So that's kind of what's happening there. Obviously, we support and love Libs of TikTok. And she's keeping it 100. She's not backing down. She's not letting this stop her. And now she's got this as a full-time gig, I think, kind of in conjunction with Babylon Bee. So congrats to her.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
I wish she was on Tucker and phoned it in. I wish she just showed up, said, "This is my face. Here I am now."
Yeah. I think she did a couple times.
Really?
I forget when, but I think there were some interviews where she did and showed her face.
Interesting.
But yeah, not priority, but I think she probably will eventually.
For sure.
Moving on. Turns out Joe Biden's dog Major, remember that puppy he got last year?
Yeah.
Well, it turns out no one
optics
raised
dog.
The optics dog. Yeah, right when Joe was getting into office, oh, he's a normal guy. He just got a puppy.
He's got a dog. He's a geriatric guy who has dogs. He loves it.
So geriatric Joe didn't really raise the dog, and we went through the puppy stage and having a puppy and know how intense that can be. And how
a puppy that's a big, large breed too. An energetic, strong, that type of thing. So Joe Biden gets it. Hey, Joe, what kind of dog? We got wiener dogs. We got, maybe a lab, something easy. It's like German Shepherd. Give me the police dog. You're 80, dude. With no time to train it.
No time to train it. No ability to train it. Can't even bend over. Can't really move that fast. So it was never going to be a successful raising anyway. I kind of thought they had people in place to do Joe's work for him and raise the dog and do the hard parts.
You need someone. Someone needs to be the point man.
Yeah. Some Secret Service guy who's like, yeah, I just play with this dog all day. So no one did that, and now we're finding out through a Judicial Watch lawsuit, freedom of information,
request,
FOIA request, that the dog Major, in his worst, went on an 8-day bite streak.
Was just ripping people apart.
Secret Service agents were bit up. One guy had to go to the hospital. He had bruises and a puncture.
They described the injuries as severe.
And then the guy who was a Secret Service guy wanted the Bidens to pay for his ripped coat or something.
Yeah.
And then they got mad at him for bringing it up and making the regime look bad, I guess.
Basically, it became a whole like PR thing where the Secret Service is like, hey, this dog's biting people and he ruined my $500 coat. And then Jen Psaki was like, there was a minor incident. Nothing happened. And this guy, the Secret Service agent, apparently wrote a super detailed like thing like, this is what happened, XYZ. And Psaki pitched it as like, someone approached Major, like who he was unexpected, and Major did a bite. And it just wasn't the case at all. The guy totally contradicted that. And now Major is with a family friend.
Yeah, Major's on a farm somewhere, living his best life.
Yeah, that's what you tell the 5-year-old kid who go, "Where's Major?"
That's what you tell Hunter. Where's Major? He's on a farm, Hunter.
Hunter's at the Easter egg hunt. Where's Major?
Yeah, and he's like, all right, Major's not here. All right, where's Zelensky? I want to chill with him upstairs.
I want to pound rails with Zelensky.
Which is funny because if this happened to Trump, they would have impeached him for it, I think.
I think there actually was a moment where Donald Trump Jr. had the sniffles or something, and they were like, cocaine?
Oh, yeah.
So, and now
But then there's videos of whatever of Hunter Biden smoking crack and like doing, and that's just, he's a private citizen.
that computer is not, that shouldn't be seen. So,
Yeah.
real clown world stuff here, guys.
It's weird because we thought that Joe Biden was a guy who would take responsibility. There was a tweet he did from 2020 where he said the president of the United States needs to stop blaming others and do his job. And then 2 years later, on the dot, to the day, Joe Biden tweeted, I know that families are still struggling with the higher prices. I grew up in a family where if the price of gas went up, we felt it. Let's be absolutely clear about why prices are high right now. COVID and Vladimir Putin. So the guy we could count on is no longer taking responsibility. And it makes me wonder, are the American people realizing? And I think they are, because Tyler Cardin, CEO of The Blaze, tweeted, the related queries over the last 12 months on, quote, Joe Biden Google searches tell quite a story. And the top 5 Joe Biden Google searches are, number 1, Joe Biden crack pipes. Number 2, let's go Brandon. Number 3, fuck Joe Biden chant. Number 4, fuck Joe Biden chants. Number 5, Joe Biden, I did that stickers. Those gas station stickers. So that's what people were searching for. People have lost hope. But the thing I'm realizing is that people never had hope. There's no searches in there like
Joe Biden accomplishments.
Joe Biden job recovery. Yeah. There's no one searching the normal stuff. It's all anti-Joe, which makes you wonder how 81 million votes got sent through the machine for this guy.
It does make you wonder. I'm going to actually do a little experiment here and just go on Google and do Joe Biden and see what autofills. Joe Biden confused, face, calls a lid. Those are all my searches. Those are all brown or purple. Joe Biden Twitter, age, net worth, news, speech today. Joe Biden young. He's not. All right, nothing there.
Nothing
Google's
there.
covering for him, so no worries.
Yeah. So moving on. Cringe of the week. Let's get into it. Let's get into the good stuff. First things first. Dan Crenshaw, new Soyjak just dropped. He did a video of him walking into like a Texas airport, and he did like a selfie video, and he's doing like the Soyjak face
With a song.
And
Because I'm happy.
Yeah,
Like, we have to mute that, so.
yeah, for copyright reasons. And it's weird because I never wore a mask in the airport.
Yeah.
That's everywhere. You're in Texas, Crenshaw. I used to do that in New York, where I'd walk in, I wouldn't wear a mask the whole time. No, people would say something or whatever, give me a dirty look. I'd get in line for TSA. I'd show my ID. They go, "Where's your mask?" And I'd say, "Can I have one?" And they'd give me one, and I'd put it on, go through security, take it off, go to my gate, wait, go to the plane, put it on, take it off when I get off the plane.
Easy.
So I haven't done airport masks pretty much ever. But Dan Crenshaw is happy that it's over now because he's allowed to take his mask off at the airport because he's a good listener.
2.5 years later, good boy finally gets his allowance of taking off the mask. So disappointing.
And it's the funny thing is he thought that was like a funny, good video. Like that just kind of shows how far his instincts are. Like the based MAGA populist voting bloc doesn't like that. Like doesn't like that weakness. And it's like you don't even realize what people care about. And you're like, oh, I'm going to use this opportunity to go viral for my mask being off at the airport finally. It's like you're taking orders? You're a congressman. You're pretty high up. You're taking orders? It's very disappointing that I take less orders than Dan Crenshaw does. And that's why we have the Dan Crenshaw Badass action figure still available. Shop Fleccastoys.com. And the Hillary Clinton receptacle van still available. Fleccastoys.com. I think next week we're going to have 2 new toy drops, so keep an eye out. But get these 2 while you still can. We're still in Cringe of the Week. Richard Rapoy.
Yes.
Math.
Yeah.
Important?
I'd say pretty important, pretty fundamental to,
The whole world.
student growth, physics,
Brain goes.
chemistry. I think math's involved in chemistry as well.
How the world works. Listen to this math equation that was on a test in Missouri. Can you read it for me?
Yeah. So the top says, y equals x plus 2. Underneath that is 3x plus 6y equals 12, simple algebra. And then underneath the math question, for some reason, it says, Maya Angelou was sexually abused by her mother's blank at age 8, which shaped her career choices and motivation for writing. And then the answers are a mix of the question, apparently. And it goes 0 or 2, solving for x and y, 4 and 6, -3 and -1. And then it says boyfriend, brother, or father next to it.
So it gives you 2 paths. Here's the math equation. You can answer that by knowing how to do math.
By knowing algebra.
And learning throughout the year. Or if you don't want to learn the math or don't know how to do the math, you can just answer a woke CRT question correctly, and you don't have to do math. It's boring anyway. And believe me, y equals mx plus b, that was a waste of time.
Slope, baby, slope.
That was a waste of time. I spent a lot of time worrying about that, and I don't really use it in my real life.
You actually do use algebra in your real life sometimes. Sometimes you need to solve for something.
Maybe.
I have in my past.
Yeah. So
algebra is the base level.
Yeah.
Like calculus, no real modern day uses for me. Not charting any circles or doing anything crazy. Solving for x, pretty standard.
And then if you solve for x, it's like you can actually apply that to real life stuff and try to figure things out. But if you don't like math or it's kind of confusing or you don't fully understand it, you can just learn the woke stuff anyway. So I made a little math problem for us.
Oh, no.
And it's for you. It's 3 choices as your answers. The question is, a square root of 50, is it A, 6.95, B, 7.055, C, 7.071? And then another question that goes along with it is, what is Fleccas? So A is fat, B is not fit, C, handsome.
All right. Well, you wrote the question. Has to be C. 7 times 7 is 49. We need a little additional to get to 50. So I knew it was one of the 7s. I couldn't get there naturally, but I knew who wrote the question. So therefore, C, final answer.
And that is correct. And it seems like a joke. It's like a stupid bit, but that's basically what the teacher did.
Yeah.
They said, here's the math question. If you don't know it, you can repeat what I want you to think about other stuff, and I'll still give you the credit, which is the sign of the times if I've ever seen it.
Good society we live in here, boys. This was in Missouri, actually. And so there was a little bit of outrage, and people are like, what's going on here? Why are we doing this? Why? And then especially, not only is it like a side non-related question, but it's all sexual assault related. Like, are we kidding me? Are we kidding here? And so they ended up saying that the teacher had sourced this from like an open source website thing, and they found the guy who made it. And he was like, it was kind of in poor taste. I made it for a project, some other thing. And then this teacher plucked it out and then used it in the classroom. And so that should show you kind of where there's a gray area in teaching. It's not just like follow the textbook. It's like we pull from here, here's a source.
A lot of teacher discretion.
Exactly. And that's the whole point of what we've been trying to say, what Libs of TikTok has been trying to say. There is gray area discretion where a teacher can kind of go woke on you.
And there are dangerous teachers that are really, really likely to take
to bend that bar or whatever.
Exactly. And this is kind of the way of the woke future. We see this in colleges. We see it with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. It's basically like, doesn't matter what's true or what's right. What we want is you in one way or another to pledge your allegiance. We see it with Apple now. They have the new pregnant man emojis.
What? I've been calling that the Fleccas emoji. Boom, betrayed on the show.
The Fleccas emoji because of the gut. Oh my God. Oh,
Sorry, guys, that was low hanging fruit.
yeah, that was
Not
so
funny.
easy. And
Not funny.
think about the trans man pregnant emoji. It's like, who's using that? Is it trans men who are pregnant? Like,
Literally?
yeah, just got my checkup. Or is it like, or is it like college frat kids who are like doing fat fuck shit at the Chinese buffet?
Yeah, just ate Chipotle and Five Guys. Like,
Ordered Uber Eats 3 times today. Oh,
Yeah.
pregnant man. So that's really what's going on. Netflix does it too. And Netflix is a perfect example of this. It obviously happened recently. They've been going woke. They put the pregnant man show out. They cancel shows that are actually good and people like, and they're just jumping on the sword, sacrificing themselves to the woke culture, the woke nature, and then they get smoked. They're losing subscribers for the first time in 10 years, and they're currently going broke.
yeah, everyone, you've probably noticed it. Netflix has some good shows. I'm not going to lie. They have some good shows that aren't woke. But if it's like a generic show for high school kids, it'll be white privilege. It'll be ethnically ambiguous minority in a situation where they need to stand up against some racist or something. Like just totally contrived situations where the writer's room, it's like, what are you guys up to? What are you doing? So it's seeped through in almost every show that they do. They obviously backed up the Brinks truck and gave Obama like a blank check. And now he's doing nature shows, and Michelle's plotting something probably with the kids. I don't know. But yeah, it's bad. And everyone knows it's woke. Everyone knows they're pushing some sort of weird agenda.
Yeah. The only good thing I've been using Netflix for was Seinfeld.
Yeah, Seinfeld, I do Criminal Minds. I fall asleep.
They have
like,
Seinfeld.
Criminal
I
Minds.
watch Seinfeld every day over and over. So
The Office, there are certain shows that people are just like, all right, this was made in 2006. I'm good.
yep.
Netflix had no hand in the pie. So
And Netflix has been spending like billions with a B on content. So now they're kind of realizing like they were on this path of like, oh, more subscribers, we're growing, we could spend this money. And now they just get absolutely murdered.
yeah, down almost 40%, high 30s% today on one bad earnings. It was basically the first quarter in modern Netflix history where they had gone down in subscribers. And one of the funny parts of it is part of it was self-inflicted, where when Russia invaded Ukraine and Netflix goes, how can we virtue signal? They cut off Netflix to 700,000 Russians. So they just shot themselves in the leg and go, we're helping. And now if I was a shareholder of Netflix, I'd be pissed. It's like, what are you guys doing? You're leaving money on the table when it's the worst quarter we've had ever?
And for normal everyday consumers, it's not like
Vladimir Putin's clicking
it's
through.
not Vladimir Putin's Netflix.
Or like the Russian troops, like, hey, morale boost, we're watching the Netflix movie. Like, it's so dumb to me.
A lot of the companies did that. A lot of the food companies left Russia too. Papa John's stayed open.
Not Papa John's.
Papa John's stayed
Papa,
open.
come on the show.
Yeah, base Papa John's stayed open. So yeah, that's what happens. You go woke, you sacrifice your company, the thing you built for years and years, and you have to jump on the sword, jump on the grenade to pledge your allegiance.
Oh, and one last point. Tucker actually talked about this sometime this week, where when he was looking into George Gascon, there was George Gascon leaked phone calls of a prisoner who was like, they're dropping my gang charge, they're dropping my gun escalator. Basically, I'm coming home. I love that dude, Gascon. Like, I'll get his face tattooed on his name tattooed on my face. And Reed Hastings, the CEO of Netflix, donated like $2 million to his campaign when he was running. And that's obviously a George Soros guy. And I think Reed Hastings gave more money than George Soros did.
Wow.
So that shows you how much of a muppet that guy is. And
that's like the secret agenda. It's not just like, oh, I think this guy's going to be the best DA for LA. There's a deeper agenda. There are more moving parts behind the scenes, and there are goals that aren't in the best interest of the people who live in California.
Yep.
It's very sad, very unfortunate.
And Reed Hastings is a NorCal guy. What are you doing donating to the LA DA? Like, I know obviously the heart of film is in LA, right? But what's up with that? You're interested in the DA race? You're interested in crime in LA? And not just crime in LA, but being soft on crime in LA.
Seems like you're up to something more.
Yeah.
If I had to guess. Yeah. So the school's bad. The math questions and CRT combining, bad. Netflix, bad.
You turn on everything you turn, you go, I'm getting roasted. I'm getting screwed.
And it makes you realize that you have to really take control of your own and your family's lives.
Yeah.
You can control what you can control what they consume, and you have to do it. You have to police it. There's a funny tweet that I'm going to read now about homeschooling. Some guy said, "We homeschool because we don't want our kids influenced by neurotic millennials who hate us for 40 hours a week from age 5 through 18. Simple." And then the person replies, "I'm sure there's no indoctrination happening at your house." And then someone else replied, "I'll say it. So many weakling, conspiracy-obsessed parents are pulling their children out of schools to, yes, indoctrinate them at home. It's morally criminal."
Let us have access to your children so we can do it.
Yeah, they need to be the ones who do it. Dad and, faith-based families, that's indoctrination. We need to tell them about LGBT stuff and they're trans and sexualize them and try to get them to, give consent for all these weird plans we have.
We need 20 of the 34 kids in the class to be non-binary, but yeah. You're teaching them too much about religion and farming and fun stuff that's actually has applications.
Yeah.
It isn't just like gender theory.
Morally corrupt.
Yeah. The kids at homeschool don't get the Maya Angelou sexual abuse question. Bummer.
Bummer. They do know how to do math though.
Yeah.
They do know how to do their times tables pretty fast. Yeah. They want to teach the kids. They want to be in charge of the kids instead of the parents. Mm-hmm. And let's see what they're teaching them as well. Besides the CRT math stuff, what else are they up to?
Yeah. What fills these kids' days at school?
Yeah. What's an auditorium look like in school these days? And a lot of the cheers for this are coming from the back of the class, the back of the auditorium where all the adults I'm assuming are.
Yeah.
And all the kids in front are just like no idea what's going on.
So this is a middle school in Wisconsin. Again, I like to point out where this is happening. Wisconsin?
You'd think it was LA or San Francisco or New York.
This is the heartland of America, the dairy capital of America.
Wisconsin.
Just drag kids.
And then
drag queen. Sorry. And so I just want to talk about what exactly do people think the value of drag queens are? Because isn't it just like a big spectacle about themselves where everyone kind of suspends disbelief and pretends they're a beautiful woman and goes, "Yes, you go, girl." It's like a weird confidence thing that happens. I don't understand it, obviously.
I've only been to a couple drag queen brunches in LA.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's a big show. It's like a theater thing, and they dance and sing.
Yeah.
But it's like a bit. It's like, it's a guy as a girl, and they're like 6'6" in heels, and they're dancing around, and it's like, you tip them, you let them kiss you on the cheek, and then you get their number, try to hang out with them. Yeah. But it's like not like a thing you want to show to children and teach to kids.
Well, that's what I'm saying is, like, what do these teachers explain when they're like, "Oh, all right, we're doing this"? What do they explain the value add is? It's like, it's all inclusivity or like exposing kids to different stuff.
Why don't you teach the kids how to play lacrosse?
Yeah. Why don't we do sports or something good? Drag queen? I don't even understand the value is basically my point. And if someone could explain that to me, please do.
Let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
Well, maybe that situation, that Wisconsin drag queen, maybe that's a one-off. Is that happening elsewhere?
Yeah. Unfortunately,
I ask knowing that there's a Washington school district who's paying for it.
So there's another article basically that came out simultaneously. Bellingham, Washington School District pays middle school students $2,000 to perform drag show. And so there's a couple key phrases from this. This is a very small article, but a Bellingham middle school awarded children $2,000 to perform a drag show. Whatcom Middle School's Gender Sexuality Alliance Club. Middle school for 10 to 12-year-olds. Gender Sexuality Alliance Club came up with the idea to host Drop Dead Gorgeous drag show. Totally normal stuff, guys. Don't worry about it. And don't
Drop
worry.
Dead Gorgeous.
And
doubt.
Yeah.
Doubt.
Disgusting freak show. Sorry, that may be too harsh. But The article goes on to say, don't worry, the school insists the drag show will be behaviorally appropriate. So no throwing dollar bills, no like twerking or anything. We'll see. I don't know how a drag show can be behaviorally appropriate for 10 to 12-year-olds. So who is paying for this? And it's basically one of 7 student clubs that are receiving grants of $1,000 to $2,500 for ideas ranging from science, the environment, student transportation, and even crochet. So I want to see the 8th. I want to see the 8th club that said, no money this year.
Yeah, watercolors, watercoloring painting.
We're giving the high end of this grant range to the drag queen people.
Yeah.
So, I don't know what else to say other than, these idiots are running schools now. So this got signed off on by whoever runs the grant, the teacher who sponsors the club, the principal themselves, probably.
Imagine some vet from like D-Day, or some vet from Iwo Jima comes and sees what's going on and say the timing was right and it was 20 years ago, and they come and they're old and they're frail, and then they see this. They wouldn't have it.
I would not. I'm glad most of them are gone and
It's
not
sad.
seeing this. It's sad. But, you fought a wave of Japanese in Iwo Jima, and they just kept coming. Your machine gun barrel was so hot that it burned your hand. John Bass alone, and you just come back to America, and you see drag queens twerking for 12-year-olds.
Yeah, your grandkids or great grandkids are throwing dollar bills to some guy in high heels.
Disgraceful.
And it's interesting too because obviously the World War II veterans are pretty much all dead at this point. The older generations would oppose this, but as they die out and they're replaced by younger generations to the point where these kids are going through schools, they're comfortable with it, they're seeing it, then they're going to graduate out and become adults. Mm-hmm. So it's like the public rejection of this, the numbers are we're losing the numbers, or we have the ability to lose the numbers if they normalize it at a young age, they're doing.
Plus importing people who just have a blank slate from a random country in Central America, just throw those all together and teach them gender ideology and bye-bye World War II morals, and values.
Exactly. Toodles to the virtues. Moving on. Let's get out of cringe.
All right. That's enough.
That was a great cringe of the week. So let's get into Urban Decay. This BLM they-them lady got decked by a cop. Let's watch. I have written down, that's what you get. So let's take a look. It's very easy. Cop lives don't matter. It's very easy to not get into an altercation with the police. It's very easy to do. I never had one. You just don't bounce around in their face like that.
Yep. So now the cop's getting physical. This big, thick they-them comes out. Boom. Dropped him. Dog's in there. There's Major. That's what Major is.
There's Major.
Found Major. Found a use for him.
It's crazy how these things escalate. Like you get in the cop's face, things are getting, aggressive. And then they get so surprised when the cop starts like retaliating and getting back and like being aggressive back.
Yeah. Do you think the cop was just like, oh, whoa, didn't realize you were that serious. I'll get out of here.
Yeah. Cops' lives don't matter. Sorry about that. You can just keep pushing me and chest to chesting with me, and that's no problem. So they basically like they get a reaction. They stir up things. They get a reaction from the cop, and then it like reaffirms what they believe, that cops are aggressive and a problem and attacking black people.
Yeah.
So it's like a self-fulfilling thing that happens in live time.
It's circular. It's that meme. Like, I'm mad at the cop, so I'm yelling and then I'm doing something inappropriate. Then the cop comes because I'm doing something inappropriate. The cop punishes me, and then I hate cops again. It's all a big circular thing.
Yeah, exactly. And they use it to prove their narrative about the police. But I think what's interesting is, and the game changer is the dogs.
Yeah.
Go prove your point to the dogs. The dogs don't care.
Yeah, the dog isn't racist. He has no intent. He doesn't know anything.
So I think, like, people might say I'm being aggressive or I'm stifling free speech, but I think if we had dogs, we had a lot of dogs on the ready, we wouldn't have had the Antifa BLM riots of 2020. People don't fuck with dogs. They know those dogs are not messing around. So if you have a line and say, don't cross this line, and people want to come press it, come try your luck with the dogs. Dogs don't care.
Yeah, the dogs know about the line. They don't know anything else.
The dogs don't care. The dogs will do what they're trained to do. And people could say, oh, Fleccas, you're you're not being constitutionally sound, you're stifling free speech, and people should have a right to protest. Well, what do you do when people have already stifled free speech and they already took it? How do you get it back?
Good question.
The dogs.
Yeah.
The dogs will bring it back.
And supporting police right now, you know, it's tough. They did COVID stuff, didn't they? You know, I don't know. I don't know what to think. A lot of people on the right are starting to be more anti-police and kind of anarchist in that nature because you can't trust these systems. And then you never know who's the chief of police. Is it some George Soros type?
Well, that's true.
Because then it's like, yeah, you're not going to ever get the result. And then beat cops, the people who are actually on the ground, are put in a hard position, rock in a hard place. It's all a big cluster. So.
It is. But the dogs could solve that problem because the dogs obviously are not people. They're not biased. They are just aggressive and they know their rules and their training. And I think the dogs would go a long way to get the streets back under control.
Fair.
I'm a big dog guy.
Very fair.
Yeah.
Except pit bulls.
Except pit bulls.
So like,
But pit bulls, they wouldn't be used as police dogs because they'd say, all right, stop. And the pit bull wouldn't listen. They just keep
pit bull
attacking.
would just keep thrashing.
Richard Rapway showed me a thing about pit bulls. I saw like these pictures of dogs who attacked a porcupine, and it's like you see on the side of their face, they have a bunch of the quills, or like they have a couple on their back or
Like
whatever.
10, 12 quills or something.
Like basically there was a porcupine, the dog bit or went too close, got stuck, dog runs off.
Dog goes, oh, runs away.
The pit bulls that attack the porcupines are completely covered like Edward Scissorhands.
They don't quit.
that-
Edward Scissorhands? No,
Who's
it's
the one with the dots, the spikes?
the spikes. Yeah,
The Johnny Depp spikes guy.
Eraserhead or something, maybe
Something like
I don't
that.
know.
That's where the pit bulls look like that. They don't stop. They'll just keep going until the porcupine runs out of quills, and then they kill the porcupine.
Yeah.
So
No self-interest, no self-preservation, just kill, thrash.
we don't need to get back on the pit bull stuff, but the Kid Thrasher shirt is obviously still available. ShopFleccas.com for the best merch in the game. Use code Jerry for 15% off.
Didn't one of your followers get attacked by a pit bull?
Oh, yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah, the other day, one of my followers got attacked by a pit bull. It was actually super sad. They tweeted at me, and they said...
I have the DMs here. But
So they tweeted at me and they said, my brother-in-law just got attacked by a pit bull. I think he's officially pit bull pilled. Think it's in poor taste if I buy him a Kid Thrasher shirt from the Fleccas store? And then I replied, sorry to hear that. Gonna send him a shirt. Just DM'd you for your info. Everyone else, go to the website. So we're giving out pit bull
apparently
shirts,
the dog is dead. The attack dog is now dead.
which I'm happy to hear.
One less pit bull. So Fleccas, he's advocating for more dogs. They're truly unbiased. I think it could get greasy. I'm not necessarily on that plan.
Very greasy.
But you know, what do you think? What do you think police should do to help, you know, deal with stressed or troubled individuals? What do you think?
Like an intense situation.
Yeah, like someone who's kind of going crazy, and you know,
I would say bring the dogs.
bring the dogs. Well,
Let's see what the response really is.
park police officers just posted this. They want to give out toys. They want to give out little toys and little things you could squeeze to a criminal.
Little
And,
stress relievers. Here's a picture of it.
yeah.
Yeah, sir, release the hostages. Please just start petting this Furby and calm down.
Hey, sir, I understand you've knifed 3 people. How about a fidget spinner?
Yeah.
I guess this is a police department giving out cheap Chinese toys as their way to handle crime.
Right here, there's sunglasses.
Goofy sunglasses. Let's get in the wedding photo booth.
Sir, please put on these cool shades. Where are the hostages?
Sir, drop the gun. Here's a foam basketball, please. And then cops unarmed too, just like with the foam
Let
basketball.
the children go. Here's a finished Rubik's Cube. Here's a Rubik's Cube that's already been done. Please let the kids go. So that's a solution, I guess. It's all about compassion and understanding, and I guess a lot of the world's problems would be solved if instead of bringing the dogs and guns, we brought the Furbies and Slinkies.
Yeah, the social worker brought the cheap Chinese plastic. Great.
Please, sir.
We solved it, guys.
Just use the Slinky. Once the Slinky gets tangled, then the guy really snaps.
He goes, no! But by that time, you have the handcuffs on him. By that time, you've tricked him. And then meanwhile, you know, the 70-year-old Asian woman gets knocked out on the street, and you're giving the guy a fidget spinner.
Please calm down. Here's a Furby.
Lovely.
Well, let's go to the next clip. We're still in Urban Decay. Guy gets shot in the back of the head and robbed. This is a sad one.
I have it titled as Atlanta Execution.
Yeah.
So it's a security guard. He's coming out of...
50-something-year-old man parks his car.
He's like an old guy. He's parks his car. Somebody is walking up behind him
and then
pulls out a gun. Everyone's black in this video.
And then shot in the back of the head, dead. Shot dead. 50-year-old man, lived a whole life, saw a whole bunch of stuff, probably has a family, and is dead in a second without even seeing it coming because someone wanted to rob him for, what, his phone and his wallet?
Whatever's on his body. So real trash behavior here. The interesting part is someone is sitting like up at the top of the camera here and just watched it happen. Doesn't run away. The guy's carrying the gun, walking away, and he walks right past him, kind of makes eye contact and goes, all right.
Which is why we have the STP scale, the Slit Throat Patrol scale we talked about a couple episodes ago. That wouldn't happen to us because everyone walking up on me, I'm assuming, is going to execute me.
Yeah.
And it's sad to live that way.
Yeah.
But you kind of have to at this point, especially if you're in Atlanta.
Yeah. So this guy's body is just on the ground. People are walking around. It's crazy. So stay safe out there, people, because there's some bad hombres out there.
With nothing to lose and will kill you for nothing to gain. It's not like they're killing the guy who has the
Brinks truck.
The Brinks truck and, you know, has the suitcase of cash going out of the bank every Friday at 10 a.m.
Yeah.
This is just some guy who parked his GMC Envoy and got killed.
So sad.
Last clip of Urban Decay phone counter stealing.
Guy walks in. He's got some tool. He cuts all the cords of the phone, takes the whole display.
It's a whole display of phones, and as you know, those phones don't even really work.
Yeah, don't they just shut those off? Isn't that kind of like a...
Yeah, those phones just have like welcome messages and like displays of the layout of the phone, but there's no service, there's no app downloads. It's just they're dummy phones to kind of see what it feels like. Don't tell that to that guy. He's probably going to trade it for drugs to some street rat who doesn't realize that this guy's selling duds.
Yeah, as long as he can get $20 out of it, it's all worth it.
Hey, these phones don't work, and he's already just on whatever drugs he's on.
Sir, drop the phones. Here's a slinky. And it's funny because Fleccas, you got a new phone this week, and he needed to come with guy. I hopped in the car, I went with him. I'm a big come with guy. And we walked into the store, and the first thing I thought about was we could take this place. Like,
let's just steal.
Because we've seen so many videos of like the groups in the Apple stores, and cell phone stores are a huge target. And so the number one thing I'm thinking about now is steal all these phones. Yeah. Crazy. That happened in 2 years. I wouldn't have thought about that 5 years ago, not 10 years ago, never. So,
yep.
Nice society.
I got the new iPhone 13.
Nice.
It's a lovely phone. And obviously it's expensive, but they do it in a way where all you have to do is like pay it off every month, like $25 a month for 3 years or something.
Yeah. Financing a phone for 3 years.
So it's like, you got me.
So they hooked him. They
hooked me. It's free basically. It's nothing. I don't even pay for it basically.
It's like taking out a 10-year car loan. Yeah. Just like bad. So
that's the end of Urban Decay. It was a dark one this week, but very eye-opening as usual. It always is.
Yeah.
Before we get into uplifting gold, the stuff that we want to feel good about, which today, who knows if that's even the case, because you know how I've been.
I've seen some of the videos. There's always a dark angle to the uplifting gold for some reason.
Something happened in my brain where I can't do uplifting gold properly anymore. And that's okay. But before we get to uplifting gold, we have a throwback clip of the week. So this clip is a throwback clip. It's the former FBI director from the LA field office. His last name is Gunderson's from many years ago. But listen to what he says. It's very telling about the world we're living in now.
City bombing case, huge cover-up. Jack Kennedy's assassination, huge cover-up. Bobby Kennedy's assassination, huge cover-up. World Trade Center, huge cover-up. Okay. Terrorism. They're using it as an excuse to take away our constitutional rights and our civil liberties.
Cosmic flame.
The Bilderbergs. The Illuminati, Bilderberg, New World Order, globalists are the element behind this. It dovetails into the satanic movement. And this movement has infiltrated into our intelligence community, the once great FBI and the CIA.
There you have it.
Case.
That kind of explains what's going on, especially since it came from so long ago. Because now you hear that and you go, oh, of course, FBI, CIA, they're all compromised. everything's satanic. There's a group of people who are the global elites, the powers that be, that are manipulating society to get what they want, which is control and power over the people for a long period of time. And also, obviously, the goal is always to take our rights away, strip our rights away.
Yeah.
So if they're going to Patriot Act, they're going to overreach because everyone's scared of terrorism after 9/11. But what you're really doing is giving up all of your rights in the meantime. So they're always finding ways, capitalizing on situations where they can put these things into motion.
Yeah, the phrase "never waste a good crisis" didn't come from nowhere. That's a real opportunity.
And it probably started with crises, and they realized that. Then it's like, what if we just make our own crises? Which is literally what happened. Don't get depressed. We're coming into an uplifting gold section.
Well, we'll see.
The final section of the episode, the uplifting gold, the stuff that life is all about, the reasons we're not perpetually sad and depressed, things we should live for, fun things that we should be highlighting every week. So this one is pretty cool. Urban fishing. Check this out.
This is drone fishing.
Very cool. I love fishing. You can fish from anywhere. You can fish from the rooftop. You can fish from a drone. That's pretty cool. Someone who likes fishing, that's uplifting.
Isn't this because they're locked down in Shanghai and have literally no food?
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not uplifting at all.
Okay, 0 for 1.
Okay.
0 for 1 on uplifting. I actually don't know if it is.
It is. Kyle posted that. Kyle Kashev. All right. So maybe that's not uplifting.
0 for 1 on uplifting.
0 for 1. The jogging guy making the noise. There's an easy one. He's running around the neighborhood, this old man. This is what people deal with every morning. Hey. Struggling for his life out there. I know the feeling. What do you think about your rap boy?
I know that feeling
Do
too.
you think you should be commenting on people exercising?
Yeah.
Don't you think? Do you think you're in the place to make fun of someone who's working out?
No, you're right. No.
Yeah,
No,
I was just gonna say.
not.
Yeah.
He's working out. He's waking everybody up in the morning.
You're gonna make fun of someone exercising. I don't want you to get roasted in the comments.
No. Yeah.
So.
You know what? Go ahead, old man. Don't roast me in the comments for how little I've been working out.
I still want you to get roasted. All right, next clip.
You're setting me up. Uplifting gold. I don't know. That's 1.5 or that's 0.5 out of 2.
That's
maybe.
uplifting. That guy's doing his routine, and it's funny.
Okay.
Next clip. A bull kills guy.
Everybody puts a song over everything.
And it gets us in trouble.
I know.
So here's a guy running from the bulls. This is what happens.
One bull distracts him. While the other
You got
bull-
away. Oh, you're absolutely dead. Absolutely blindsided. It's Blindside 2. Blindside as well.
Blindside 2 with Sandra Bullock and 2 bulls.
I don't want to do a Fleccas callback and just, play a cool clip where I look like the man, but I actually had one of these bull moments in college in football. So check me out here. I'm the center. I'm center, and I'm blocking back to this guy. And I'm the bull in this one, and then that guy's the guy getting lit up, and he's dead. So that was me, 10, 15 years ago.
And now you're out of commission for one workout for 36 hours. So.
Now my arms are stuck like this, and if I go like this, it hurts so bad, and it breaks the lactic acid up, and then my heart starts beating fast, and I just feel like I'm my whole body is swollen and acidic.
Okay, so that was just some guy getting absolutely knocked out. I don't know if that's uplifting gold.
But I included the Fleccas football clip, which people haven't seen, which is kind of cool.
Okay.
It's a cool throwback. Baseball bat to head clip.
That doesn't sound like uplifting gold. Let's play it.
So basically, the coach is throwing the bat to the sideline on the other side of the baseball field, and he hits the catcher in the head. There it is. And I was going to do a bit at least he wants to win. We need more of this. But you're right. It's not uplifting. It's just a funny thing that happened.
That made me smile.
Let's go to the next clip. Damaged car with note.
Okay.
So this is a person whose car was damaged.
I found this on my car. So I went to Walmart. I found this on my car saying, "Sorry for the damage on your car. Can't afford to fix it, but here's chocolate instead." Left this, and here's the damage on my car.
There's like
$900 worth of damage minimum.
across multiple panels, like the front, the
You
door.
can't just cut one out and replace it.
Just completely shredded the side of your car. But here's 2 chocolates that probably melted in the sun.
Also, women's handwriting.
Yeah.
Women's handwriting. Mm-hmm. Women drivers.
That'll do it. Second.
So like we have maybe half an uplifting gold here so far.
Well, the uplifting in that is that you got a little snack. Someone's going to do a hit and run. At least you got something out
You
of
think
them.
that's a net uplifting gold or a net?
Would you rather have the damage to your car or the note with the chocolates?
What? What do you mean?
Well, in the situation.
I would rather have no damage to my car.
That's
no
not an
note.
option.
Well, would I rather have? Are you saying would I rather have just the damage or the damage plus the chocolates?
That's the question.
I'll take the chocolates. I mean, come on.
Imagine the chocolates are tampered with or something, and it's just a double worst day ever. Have you ever had that? Have you ever had your car get hit and you don't know what happened?
I used to park on the streets of Chicago, so like it would always be like little bumper car stuff. Like they call it park by feel in a tight spot, tight parallel parking. So just that, nothing ever really crazy like that.
Yeah, same with me. And I have a truck now, so it's hard to dent.
Someone vandalized it recently, actually.
Oh yeah, that is true. Anna Paulina Luna, our friend who's running for Congress here in Florida, she came over. We're talking about her podcast or whatever, and then next thing I know, go to the back of my car. There's an Anna Paulina Luna sticker for Congress on the car.
That's weird.
You know, I'm obviously going to vote for her. I like her. She's my friend. But it's an 89 Bronco, lifted,
No
Eddie
other
Bauer
stickers.
edition, perfectly prime black with tan top and the tan runner. I didn't know we were adding stuff to it. I didn't add anything to it for a reason, but I guess people don't think of it the same way I do.
Yeah, I guess people don't respect your property.
Yeah, happy to promote a friend and leave it, but
Wasn't happy when you saw it.
would have been happy if there were some chocolate bars too.
Yeah,
Hey, added a sticker to your car. Here's some Hershey's. Okay.
exactly.
Yeah, I might peel it off.
I thought you were going to already.
I'm going to peel it off. I'm still going to vote for her. She's still my friend. I still support her. I just am not a sticker on the car guy. I never have been. In high school, I had the college I was going to, stuff like that. But I'm not really a sticker on the car guy, especially when you have a cool old Bronco. You don't need to add anything to it.
It's bare. Keep it clean.
Yeah.
Keep it tight.
Keep it murdered out. Moving on, kid with cow arm.
Okay, so this
is real uplifting.
This is the only one I would qualify as true uplifting gold.
What about the dog throwing with the statue?
All right, that's actually coming next. So.
Yeah.
All right, there's a little kid in a farm with a cow. The cow's nibbling his hand, all slobbery.
Try it again. Show
Kid
mama.
likes it.
You're on
Sticks it
a
out
farm.
again.
You got a kid. The kid's playing with the animals. You're
He's
also
up to his elbow. The cow is up to this kid's elbow.
and you also eat the cow, so you learn lessons. It's nice to be around animals like this,
Yeah.
and farmers are good people.
Yes.
And you're not going to teach that kid about drag queens or anything.
Yeah, he needs to know where meat comes from and like the logistics of butchering a cow and extracting milk. These are milk cows probably.
Yeah.
So that I don't think they're butchering them, but like
We need 1 million kids like that.
yeah, I'll take 100 of those kids before I'll take anybody who's going to talk to me about gender identity or some racial thing.
Exactly. And that's also uplifting because earlier we had the bull that killed the guy, and now we have the cow who's nice to the kid.
Exactly.
So maybe that guy deserved it.
And then and also the dad is just sending a nice funny video to his wife. It's like that's pure Americana. I love that.
Yep. And the kid's getting dirty, but it's okay. Kids can get dirty and gross. They learn lessons by experiencing like that. Last uplifting gold video, not last thing, but last video, dog playing with statue.
This is a statue who looks like he's in a throw position.
And the golden retriever is trying to get him to throw. And that's nice. And just like we did before, the certain dogs that are police dogs and pit bulls, there's the other side of it. These are nice American dogs, golden retriever,
he
pure
wants to
Americana.
retrieve.
He wants to retrieve. He wants to play. He's pure. He's nice. There are good things in the world.
That's a dog you get if you're a geriatric president, you know?
It would have been a lot easier.
Yeah.
That dog's playing with nobody.
Exactly.
Not biting anyone. Doesn't have his instincts to bite anyone. He's not trying to bite anyone. Although there are some pretty aggressive golden retrievers. I'm sure people have stories. So yeah, that's the end of the uplifting gold. The world seems a little crazy. Does it not?
It is. It's
Every
mental.
week we kind of show different things and it shows how crazy things have gotten. And it
How
makes
crazy things have gotten in small pockets of America, you know? And a lot of those institutions are key, like the education sector, what's getting filtered down to your kid. But there's gold everywhere. There's gold in these streets, and not everything is a total campaign against the family and against you.
Exactly. And if you keep consuming this content, you'll think if you consume the bad stuff, you'll think the world is worse than it is. But it will show you what the world can become if you don't stop it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you see these clips. It's not everywhere that these horrible things are happening, but if no one takes a stand, eventually it kind of will be. But if you stay focused on these things online, on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, you will drive yourself crazy.
Yeah.
And it is so frustrating because what can you do to make a huge difference immediately? There's like not many things you can do. But I saw something that really stuck out to me and spoke to me on our friend St. Belle's Instagram. She's great. Caption says, "What I see around me would drive me insane if I did not know that no matter what happens, God will have the last word." Which is absolutely true. And that's like kind of the redeeming hope we have. Things are ugly, but that will wake up more people. And in the end, God wins. The good will win. The truth will be revealed because God will have the last word. So that's something we need to remember. And that's kind of been my mindset this whole time. And that was perfectly worded by St. Belle's. It's something we all need to remember. Otherwise, we'll drive ourselves crazy. That is the end of the episode. It was a good one, episode 29.
You made it through, despite 36 hours of silence, and I'm hurt.
It hurts so bad. I was trying so hard to move my arms. So thank you guys for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, all the good stuff. ShopFleccas.com for the best merch in the game. FleccasToys.com for the badass Dan Crenshaw action figure and the Hillary Clinton receptacle van. New toys coming next week. Make sure you're signed up for the Fleccas Clips channel. We're going to be giving away a pair of the toys to a random subscriber, so make sure you're subscribed there. And then Patreon and YouTube join for bonus episodes. There's no bonus episodes this week because I am too destroyed mentally and physically. I barely kept it alive, and together this episode, you might not have noticed, but after this episode is done, I'm basically going to be dead for 48 hours. So make sure you guys subscribe on Patreon. We actually met Patreon people over the weekend. Three nice girls were in St. Pete. They were Patreon members. We met them at a restaurant in town. Very nice girls. That's what happens when you join the Patreon. You can hang out with us in real life if you're in St. Pete and you DM me and I'm in town too. I will come meet you.
Yeah,
shout
out to them.
Shout out to them.
Very nice girls. Introduced us to a fun game
called Pigs.
Pigs? Yeah.
It's like you have pigs and you roll the pigs, and then if they are on their feet or on their back or on their snout, you get different points. And I was like, so what's the point of the game? You just roll the pigs? And they're like, yeah, you roll the pigs and you get hyped. And I was like, that sounds stupid. And we did it. It was actually really fun.
Yeah, 10 minutes later, we're like, Snowder! yelling that we got it. But yeah, pure Midwest drinking game. So
yeah, shout out to the Pigs girls. They were very lovely. It was fun hanging out with you guys. We went to some place where they had live music, and the cover band was a Grateful Dead cover band. And I made the realization, because one of the girls was like a big Grateful Dead fan. I am not a Grateful Dead guy. I don't like the fans of Grateful Dead. And I made the realization that the Grateful Dead boomers are solely responsible for giving the country away.
They're the ones who did it.
They're the ones. It wasn't my dad. My dad's Chad. My dad played football. He's a big guy. My mom is very base. She's fantastic. She's red-pilled. She's so smart. So I'm like, what happened with these boomers? Like, what happened? And it's the Grateful Dead boomers who do acid, and they go to the show, and they just go like this, and they get covered in mud.
Borders are just imaginary lines, brother.
Yeah, share. Oh, what do you have? We'll barter. We'll trade you blueberries for acid. So those are the people that gave the country away. You're not a serious person if you do that, even if it's just for a weekend. Like, oh, once a week I just, drop acid and lose my shit. And then what? You're going to stand up to George Soros after that? No. And that's what happened. The Grateful Dead boomers gave the country away. No need to go further into it. Thank you guys for watching. Like, share, subscribe. I already told you that. We will see you at the next one. bug out, get a double dose of cringe